Alright, I brought back an old Stasis build I used a long time ago before I ever made this channel, and decided to make it again because I missed it. And pretty much the whole focus of it is Outbreak perfected. That's why I did the whole Siva themed look. But it pretty much takes Outbreak up to the best I could possibly make it. The only other thing you could run is like Chromatic Fire, but I hate how it looks. And it really is as simple as that. But a long time ago I discovered it's really good with Stasis, mainly because of this right here. Or no, sorry, this. Primary ammo weapons do increase damage to Stasis crystals and frozen targets. It's something like a 60% increase in damage, and that includes the damage of the nanites. So, the whole build focuses around just freezing as much stuff as possible, and letting the nanites clean them up. So, using cold snap grenades with osmiomancy gloves and glacial harvest, ice flare bolts are a must, so that when you kill a frozen enemy with a precision kill, it goes on and freezes something else, and then the nanites can go after it, and this can just keep going forever. Whisper of Rending is must-have. I like Whisper of Conduction. It's good stat boosts and convenience. You don't have to run it though. Whisper of Chains is nice with how much stuff is going to be frozen near you, and Whisper of Rime is nice just for a bit of extra healing. The Overshield isn't all that great, but if you have lost health, it gives you health instead of Overshield. Obviously Outbreak, the Catalyst is necessary or else the build won't really work how it's meant to, because it, enemies that die with nanites attached to them generate additional nanites. That's the main thing. So, I just have full kinetic, like, exotic primary focus on my helmet, kinetic siphon, heavy ammo finder, and scout. I have one grenade kickstart on osmiomancy. Combined with its built-in regen, that's usually enough to instantly get your grenade back. Also, if you hit a champion with the grenade, you instantly get it refunded, so you can just infinitely freeze champions and majors. Just bolstering detonation for a bit of extra rift regen. I would recommend at least one charged up for grenade kickstart's sake. And then I have stacks on stacks and elemental charge, so I pick up an orb or like 3 or 4 stasis shards, and I got 2 stacks for the next grenade. And you'll usually create plenty of shards from just one grenade. And then you can use your rift as often as you want to, but if you want to keep it for safety's sake, that's understandable. This build really is as simple as freeze an enemy, precision kill them, and watch it go. Every time your nanites kill something, they spawn more. And they do quite a bit of damage to frozen enemies. You can see they're doing 2,800 each or something. Not sure what that damage number was. Let's see. I have to get some near some more nanites. The only issue I see with this build is sometimes you'll get a precision kill, but the game will think it's a shatter kill and it won't spawn the nanites. But the thing is, Outbreak is so good that even when that happens, it's not really an issue. You can just go on to the next enemy. I mean, it's good even without freezing stuff, because Outbreak is just a good gun. But when you freeze stuff, it kind of just goes crazy. Honestly, enemies aren't bunched up enough in this lost sector for it to show really well. I took this into the Vex lost sector on Neomuna one time, and stuff would just like that. They'd die to the shatter before I could even get the nanites going. but honestly, I don't really see that as an issue. There we go. Yeah, they're doing like 4,000 damage when the enemy is frozen, which is plenty to kill any red bar in raids or anything like that. You can see how much grenade regen I'm getting. There we go. And it's surprisingly, I expected it to be kind of squishy, like, and be easy to kill, this build, but with Whisper of Rhyme and the healing from the shards, it's actually pretty tanky, as long as you play smart, don't get too close to stuff. It is a pulse rifle after all, you have range to your advantage. Let me take out these turrets, because they'll easily kill me if I don't. Okay. Like I said before, if the shatter steals your kill, it's not like it's really an issue. You're still getting really good AoE. As you can see, ever since they gave exotic primaries the 40% damage buff to red bars, Outbreak has been really good regardless. I should have showed it off at Sorrow's Harbor, honestly, because it's really satisfying when you can just get a chain going, where it just starts going, like, in the right circumstances, this can chain as much as, like, Necrotic Grip can. That's the other nice thing about Ice Flare bolts. If something's tanky enough and you shatter them, it'll just go right back to them and freeze them again. Ah, stupid Scions. The only issue is the limited range that Outbreak's nanites have. Sometimes they have trouble finding enemies to go to, but when they do find enemies, they eat them alive. That's another great thing about Stasis. You can just say no and shut stuff down like that when you get surrounded. Unless they're gladiators with 2,000 knockback. Let's see if I can get the... Oh no, the Ice Flare Bolt one for something else. I don't know if I'd use this in Nightfalls or not, honestly. It'd probably be pretty good, because Osmiomancy are amazing on their own. And Outbreak just lets you do 60% extra damage to everything you freeze with them. It could probably be okay in Nightfalls. I probably wouldn't run this setup, this is for DPS phases. But... Outbreak's gonna be good in pretty much any situation. Everybody knows how good Outbreak is, but you barely ever see anyone using it, which I find pretty weird. There we go. That's the potential of it right there. If there were more enemies nearby to freeze, it would have just kept going. Not to mention, even if an enemy survives the nanites attacking them, you're then doing increased damage to them with Outbreak. So if you put down like that's another nice thing I just came to mind. Like I said, if you freeze majors or like champions with the ice flare bolts from Osmiomancy, you just get it fully refunded every time. So with Outbreak's ramping damage on top of the extra damage to frozen enemies, you're going to be doing a lot of primary DPS. Like I said before, this was like the best build I could find to just completely focus on Outbreak and deal the do the most amount of ad clear and damage with it. The only other thing I would probably suggest is maybe Chromatic Fire on Void, because then you would weaken everything near the precision kill, and then nanites would do extra damage. But the thing is, that's a 15% damage increase. This is like a 60% damage increase. So why run that when you could run this? Do some damage to this boss. I love my Wendigo. Next time a GM comes around for Wendigo, make sure to pick it up. It's such a great weapon. Never leaves my inventory. I realize now that why Shatter is killing so much stuff is a while back. I remember when they nerfed Shatter Dive, they pretty substantially buffed shatter damage in PvE. See, that's what I'm talking about. So I just kept freezing him over and over. If I was using Outbreak, it would have been ramping damage like crazy. Outbreak's by far one of my favorite weapons. Like, I like it enough to have made this build for it. Let's see if we can get the... Oh no, it's trying to go seek something else out. Oh well. There we go. You can kind of just follow the nanites. Whatever enemy they attack, if they don't kill it, you kill it to keep it going. Like I said, it's surprisingly, I guess what it lacks in tankiness, it makes up for in control. So usually half the battlefield isn't even shooting at you, and that's why it seems so hard to die with. Because I have noticed it is substantially more difficult to die using this build than I expected it to be. but you don't have to have grenade kickstart on osmiomancy, by the way. You get quite a bit of grenade regen back. If you think you don't need it, don't use it. But obviously at that point you need to find something else to put your armor charge stacks into. Melee, maybe a melee kickstart. But other than that, it's pretty simple.